Vladimir Putin just went through what may be his worst week of the war. Why? Because Ukraine has gone all in on a new strategy, destroying Russia's oil industry. For months, Ukraine has been hitting oil refineries deep inside Russia. But in September, the campaign went into overdrive. Strike after strike is torching the facilities that fuel Russia's war machine, and Putin is running out of ways to stop it. Let's start with Bashkortostan. That's where Ukraine hit the massive Gazprom Neftekhim Salavat refinery, one of Russia's top 10 refineries. It's 1,300 kilometers from the front line, so this wasn't an easy target. But Ukraine pulled it off. Drones struck a major crude oil processing unit, triggering what the Security Service of Ukraine called a massive explosion. Flames and thick black smoke poured into the sky. A week later, Ukraine came back for round two. This time, they destroyed another vital processing unit at the same plant. The result? Salavat, which produces over 150 petroleum and chemical products, was left in ruins. But that wasn't all. On the very same week, Ukraine also targeted the Volgograd refinery, the largest fuel supplier in Russia's southern region and a key source of fuel for Russian troops. That facility alone accounts for nearly 6% of Russia's refining capacity. Altogether, Ukraine has now struck 16 out of Russia's 38 refineries since August. That's almost half of Russia's oil refining power under attack. Analysts estimate that more than 1 million barrels per day of refining capacity have been disrupted. And the impact is already being felt. Russia's diesel exports have plunged to a 5-year low. Gasoline shortages are spreading across the country with long lines at gas stations. Independent fuel stations are shutting down because state-owned ones are being prioritized. At the same time, the West is piling on with sanctions. U.S. President Donald Trump told the UN that Europe must ban all Russian oil and gas purchases, while the EU is now moving faster to phase out imports. Even Turkey, once a key buyer of Russian diesel, is now turning to India and Saudi Arabia for supplies. If those customers never return, Russia's long-term oil revenues are in danger. And this is hitting Putin where it hurts most: money. Oil revenues in 2025 are already down 37% compared to last year, while Brent crude prices are trading lower than what Russia needs to balance its budget. Oh no, the timing couldn't be worse for the Kremlin. Russia is dealing with exploding refineries, falling revenues, frustrated citizens, and a fuel crisis at home. Putin tried to bring the war to Ukraine, but now Ukraine is bringing the war right back to Russia, and his oil empire may be the first thing to collapse.